Welcome to The Functional Esthetician, a podcast where skin health meets whole body wellness. I'm Samantha Dench, a licensed esthetician of 22 years, owner of Skin Deep Aesthetics, author, and a student of functional medicine. My mission is to help you see the bigger picture because healthy skin starts from within. In each episode, we'll explore the gut-skin axis, hormones, nutrition, skincare, and wellness tools you can use to transform your skin. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the gut-skin axis. By the end of this episode, you'll understand what the gut-skin axis is. Learn about both our gut and our skin microbiomes, inflammatory gut and skin problems, and how you can listen to your body's signals and signs so you can start to look and feel better. Please enjoy. Today we're digging into the gut-skin axis. Before I get started, I want to mention that I refer to a few articles as well as my blog in this episode. The links to those are in the show notes. Today, I'm going to share some key information. This is going to help you learn how to pay attention to your body and your skin for signals and signs. The gut-skin axis means that your gut and your skin communicate via the central nervous system. Both the gut and the skin share similar microbiomes and barriers. This means both the gut and the skin have good and bad bacteria that make up their microbiomes. The gut and skin have similar barriers. This protects harmful substances from entering the body. PubMed defines the gut-skin axis as the bidirectional signaling that occurs between the skin and the gastrointestinal tract under both homeostatic and disease conditions. Microbiome imbalance or dysbiosis at one site can lead to local barrier dysfunction, resulting in the activation of signaling pathways that can disrupt tissue homeostasis at the other site, potentially leading to inflammatory skin conditions such as acne, dermatitis, and psoriasis, or gut diseases like inflammatory bowel disease. Information is power. Today, you get to learn how to pay attention to your gut and your skin so you can take control of your health and prevent future illness. Our body and our skin show preliminary signs before symptoms begin. It's up to us to understand what these signals are and to get us to start to pay attention. Let's talk about how the gut tells you it's not healthy. When the gut is stressed, inflamed, or unable to digest certain foods, you end up with gut problems. Many inflammatory foods cause inflammation or toxic buildup in the gut. Our gut gets rid of excess food and toxins via the waste, but the inflammation gets left behind. And the gut needs to purge that inflammation, and it does so via the gut-skin axis. If you remember in episode 3, we talked about how the skin is a detox pathway. Inflammation from the gut comes out through the skin's detox pathways. This results in inflammatory skin problems. Our gut gives us preliminary signs and signals that it's not properly working, but it's something we deal with daily, so we don't think twice about it. Signals such as gas, bloating, burping, or headaches are signals that our gut isn't working properly. It's trying to get us to pay attention. And I never used to think about those signals either. It wasn't until December 2023 when Clint and I decided to try the carnivore diet for 90 days. That's when all these signals went away. If you're not familiar with the carnivore diet, it's simple. It's beef, butter, salt, and eggs. And I know you're instantly thinking high cholesterol and heart attack, but the opposite is actually true. Red meat isn't the culprit. It's pairing it with sugar and carbs. That's what causes health problems. And we will talk about this in another episode. When we started the carnivore diet, this was something Clint had been researching and learning about for quite some time. Carnivore reduces inflammation, heals your gut, and can reverse disease. After about a month of trying carnivore, both Clint and I noticed that our gas, bloating, and burping went away. Why is this relevant? Eating carnivore has healed our guts. And yes, we do eat different foods from time to time. And every time we do it, the gas, the bloating, the burping, it always comes back. It's like our gut is screaming to us, "What did you just do to me?" Let me explain why. Gas, bloating, and burping is caused from gas in the intestines during digestion. When we eat fiber, carbs, and sugar, the small intestine doesn't break these foods down completely. It then gets passed to the large intestine where bacteria break it down, and this causes gas. If you're someone with inflammatory bowel disorders, you'll likely experience IBS-like symptoms such as cramping, bloating, constipation, and/or diarrhea. Eliminating inflammatory foods can alleviate these symptoms. Let's move on to the skin. I want to talk about how the gut-skin axis impacts inflammatory skin conditions. Our skin is the largest organ of our body, and our body detoxes via the pores. This is why sweating is great. Saunas and high-intensity exercise are the perfect ways to detox your body because it stimulates sweating. Sleeping is another time our body detoxes. When we sleep, our organs and cells repair themselves, and the toxins get purged through the pores. Oh, and this is why you should wash your face every morning. Splashing your face with water and then applying your skincare products means you're applying product on top of waste. Now let's talk about inflammatory skin conditions, starting with acne. PubMed defines acne as a multifactorial disease with the main drivers being the skin microbiome composition, the hormonal and immunological state of the host, oil production, diet, hormonal disorders, and deregulation of insulin-like growth factors. Acne is the most common skin disorder in the Western world. It can affect 79 to 90% of adolescents. It is surprisingly absent in communities that live a traditional, non-Western lifestyle. I can attest to the fact that we are seeing more acne now than ever before. 22 years ago, when I became an esthetician, we rarely saw an adult over 25 with acne. Now it seems like everybody suffers from acne. And our diets have gotten worse, so this correlation makes sense. Next, let's talk about dermatitis. PubMed defines dermatitis as the most common inflammatory skin disease affecting 7% of kids and 15% of adults. It is an inflammatory skin disorder characterized by barrier dysfunction, chronic inflammation, and microbial dysbiosis on the skin. Dermatitis is also influenced by genetics and environment. And this last one is really interesting. Lesional skin in dermatitis is commonly characterized by low bacterial diversity. This means with dermatitis, both the skin and gut microbiomes have an imbalance of bacteria. Let's talk about psoriasis. This is also considered a systemic disease that presents on the skin. PubMed defines psoriasis as characterized by red, scaly, and thickened skin lesions that can occur at the site of the body. It is a multifactorial disease with an interplay between genetic susceptibility, lifestyle, and environment. Numerous comorbidities are reported suggesting psoriasis to be a systemic disease rather than just a skin disease. Similarly, stress has been reported to be an important trigger and crucial exacerbating factor. Psoriasis tends to come and go in the form of flare-ups. And this is why research is turning to the gut. And there's a few interesting findings from PubMed studies. First, people with psoriasis have an increased risk to develop intestinal immune disorders, such as IBD, ulcerative colitis, and celiac disease. Second, lactose intolerance is significantly more present in psoriasis. Third, smoking and alcohol have been associated with the flare-ups of skin lesions and even poor response to treatments. Lastly, intermittent fasting has been found to positively impact moderate to severe psoriasis. Now let's end with rosacea. PubMed defines rosacea as a chronic inflammatory disease characterized by various skin lesions, predominantly on the face, including swelling, acne-like bumps, and visible capillaries that affects up to 15% of the population with fair or sensitive skin. Rosacea is another skin condition we see more frequently in the treatment rooms. It used to be that men and women over the age of 40 experience rosacea-type symptoms. Now it seems like clients are coming in their 20s with these types of symptoms. I've seen firsthand how rosacea flare-ups can come from food. Clint has been dealing with rosacea for several years. He has made huge improvements with his lifestyle, and it's showing on his skin. We can both instantly tell when he eats a food his body doesn't like, or sometimes when we go out to dinner. Clint's cheeks flare up almost instantaneously. And here's why. Once you remove inflammatory foods from your diet and then you eat something that your body's not used to, it causes stress in your digestive system. Your body reacts pretty quickly because it's a foreign substance and your body has to start to break it down. This next part is key. Pay attention to your skin. Does it flare up after you eat certain foods? Or are your flare-ups always in the same spot? If so, your gut may be telling you something. Let's shift gears to the gut microbiome. Rupa Health defines the gut microbiome as the vast community of microorganisms that reside within our digestive system. This ecosystem is made up of bacteria, viruses, fungus, and other microbes, all working together in a complex web of interactions. Just like each of us have our own unique fingerprints, we have our own distinct microbiome makeup. Today, I want to focus on inflammatory gut problems. Starting with IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, and IBD, which is irritable bowel disorder. Both conditions result in similar symptoms such as gas, bloating, cramping, constipation, and/or diarrhea. Here's where they're different. IBS has no underlying medical cause. Diagnosis is based on ruling out other conditions. Treatment includes lifestyle adjustments such as diet, stress management, and exercise. Sometimes medications are prescribed, but often doctors recommend probiotics. IBS does not tend to turn into serious complications. IBD requires endoscopy and/or biopsy to confirm diagnosis. Treatment includes medication, surgery in severe cases, and nutritional therapy. IBD can lead to complications. Patients tend to have periods of flare-ups and remission. Lastly, I want to talk about dysbiosis. Rupa Health defines dysbiosis as occurring when there is an imbalance of good versus bad microorganisms in the gut. Many possible causes of dysbiosis include diet, lifestyle, chronic antibiotic use, stress, and excessive use of antacids. Dysbiosis can contribute to chronic health conditions over time. including IBS, candida overgrowth, allergies, colitis, PCOS, skin conditions, and obesity. Phew, that was a lot of information today. Please go back and re-listen to this because we covered a lot of information and you want to make sure that you soak it all up. Also, make sure to check the show notes for links if you want to read a little bit more information about all of the topics we talked about today. Before we end today's episode, I want to tie it all together by talking about gut testing. Functional testing is different than conventional testing. The easiest way to test your gut is to start with a one-day stool sample. This test checks for parasites, bacteria, fungus, and viruses. It includes markers for inflammation and digestive dysfunction. Once we understand where your imbalance is, we can create a personalized plan. This will help you heal your gut and your skin. If you have questions about this or would like more information, please connect with me on social media. I'd like to end today's episode with one small step you can start taking today. Pay attention to your skin. Is it possible that your diet is causing your skin problems? Do you notice flare-ups after eating? Or are your flare-ups concentrated in the same spot? These are signs that your skin problems are coming from your gut. A simple thing you can do to test for this is to start by eliminating inflammatory foods, such as gluten, soy, dairy, or sugar. Did you notice improvement after 2 weeks? If you notice no improvement, you can rule out your diet. If it is from your diet, slowly introduce these foods one at a time and pay attention to markers of inflammation either in your skin or in your gut. If you notice no improvement by introducing foods back in, my recommendation would be to do some functional testing. I hope today's episode gave you hope and lots of information you can use. Please share this podcast with someone in your life who can benefit from today's episode. Thank you for listening. Today we talked about the gut-skin axis, inflammatory skin and gut conditions, and how the health of your gut can impact your skin. We ended with gut testing and how you can start to pay attention to your skin to look for signals and signs. Please head over to our social media page and share one thing you learned about yourself today. Be sure to tune in to episode 5. We are doing a Halloween special talking about a process called glycation. Glycation affects both the skin and the gut. You don't want to miss it. And always remember, you deserve to love the skin you're in. As estheticians, we have such a unique opportunity to not only care for the skin on the surface, but to guide our clients towards deeper wellness. If this episode gave you something to think about, share it with me on Instagram @SkinDeepIL. I look forward to connecting with you there. And if you enjoyed this conversation, subscribing and reviewing the podcast helps others find these conversations too. And always remember, you deserve to love the skin you're in.